Welcome everyone back to VCT Pacific Stage 2. For today's scrum, we have Talon, Frost, and Ban joining us. Let's begin hearing short comments on today's game from both. Let's start with you, Coach.
Similar to GE, that doesn't really feel like a win. Very disappointed with how the veto went. I was actually hoping that different maps would come out. I don't think we played our best. I certainly do not think we played well enough to win, but good teams still need to be able to grind out wins, even if they're not playing at their best. I'm happy that Ban got to show what he can do, both on Duelist and as I think the focal point of strategy this week, right? I mean,
yeah,
like this is the first time all of our game plan was centered around Unit this
Yeah,
week, right? Yeah.
sure.
So it's nice to know that we have another player that can be the focal point of an entire week's preparation, and he can deliver. Yeah, I'm fortunate that now we have tie break on all the teams competing for fourth place for champs, but I do believe we need to get much better.
For me, I think I don't know. This game doesn't feel like a win to me, honestly. I think it's more on honestly individual performance, if I'm being honest. And I don't think some of the things that I do, like as an individual player, shouldn't be done in my opinion. But it's like during the game, I gotta do what I gotta do. But I think a lot of it comes down to our communication problems, like a lot. And I mean, obviously, we have two Thai players that cannot speak fluent English just yet, and it's very hard to communicate. But we've been trying to fix this for basically the entire year. But I mean, still, we're reaching the end of the year now, going into like the most important part where it's either we qualify for champs or not. And having this problem honestly just kind of sucks. I mean, not to blame them or not to blame anyone. It's just what it is. It is what it is. Honestly, it's just tough.
Yeah, for the record, I would blame us more than them because it's not their fault. It's actually ours.
Yeah, I agree.
Coach, let's move on to pre-submitted question. First one's for you. Very close fight on Lotus with both teams taking a slim lead as round goes by. What is the decisive factor you think that earns your team this map? Especially RRQ had 2 map points today.
Cruz. I think the biggest reason and the biggest difference was Cruz. I thought he outcalled Estrella pretty much all 3 maps. I think the team let him down today. This is the first game all year since I've been here as a coach. This is the first time where me and Cruz vehemently disagreed on map veto. As a coach, I've always given my IGLs veto power, so they will always break a tie. This week it happened. Cruz wanted Lotus, and most people don't realize what happened, but he called a magnificent game. He knew exactly where they were, what they were doing, how they were playing, how we should play it. And I think ultimately, one mistake here, one mistake there. The next thing you know, they chain a couple rounds, and it's just like, then he's battling the whole way. I thought he was probably the biggest difference, I think, on all the maps. I think on Icebox, obviously, Ban is the biggest difference for sure. I don't think there was really calling. I think it was just Ban, just man moding. But Cruz had a really good idea on what to do, obviously, on attack. And even on defense, I just think, yes, some micro mistakes made the maps that close. But, yeah, he deserves his flowers.
This question is for both of you. How is your preparation with this new patch? How will this affect your game plan or playing style moving forward, considering how well the ISO and Clove combination today?
I will say that, yeah, I think this patch puts us in a really good spot. I think having to play last week on 8.10 was really bad because Surfer had only played 2 of those maps. With that roster on that patch, Lenny had the majority of the maps. And I think that now on 8.11, we basically knew that he was going to Sentinel and we were going to basically use the best characters that are available on this patch. And today you saw Governor play Clove, and you saw Ban play ISO. And I think that moving forward, we should definitely get better. And I think that's ultimately why we went away from the 6-man roster to the 5th to shore up the Sentinel spot and allow Ban to now play basically more flexibly on any single character on any map. And I think having the best Neon on the world helps too.
This question for you. What were the struggles on Icebox despite an early 10-2 lead that you guys were sort of dominating?
I think on defense, I mean, we definitely didn't follow the game plan. Usually when I'm not playing like duelist, I will try to like, get the team in the right direction most of the times, but it's honestly hard for me to do help Cruz out as well during the calling because I'm playing duelist and I'm focused on my own game, honestly. And it's honestly my first time playing duelist after Yoru, and I play duelist maybe like once every two matches. And in general, when I'm playing duelist, I don't speak as much as I do if I'm playing Sentinel or like other flex roles, flash roles. So I think that was a huge cost for us. And
Just sort of follow question. Did you expect the match to end it this way today?
honestly, no. I think I don't think everyone was on the same page in terms of like our game plan going into the game, and I think that was a huge factor into it. And no, I did not. I'm just not happy with how we performed as a team, honestly.
Last pre-submitted question. This one's for you, Coach. You will face DMF next week. How are you going to prepare for this after today's game?
We played DFM and then followed by DRX. So we have the ability to, I think, shore up our both playoff spot and champ. So we will be working very hard. DFM has May, who has been pretty much going off. So we need to prepare for him, similar to how we prepared for Jemkin. I think we have a very favorable schedule moving forward, and I expect us to be much stronger than we were today. However, DFM, in my opinion, should have beaten RRQ last week. And if we go and play the same way we did today, if RRQ being as close as it was with us today is any indication that DFM absolutely has a chance to win next week if we show up the same way we did today. Our goal this week in preparation and practice is to guarantee that that does not happen at all.
Thanks, Coach. That's all for pre-submitted questions. We'll now open up the floor for live questions. We have a question from Siddharth from Sports Kita.
Hello, Frost and Man. I would like to ask this question to Frost. Do you think this current patch rewards teams that adopt a more aggressive playstyle, or do you think this patch doesn't make too much of a difference regardless of a team's playstyle? Thank you.
No, I think your read is right. This patch definitely rewards aggression. I think it's funny because I think you can see that on Icebox when we're playing defense. RRQ is a very tactical team when they play together. Their util is layered in chains, and they basically claim space, wait, then, pop util for a hit, wait, counter, throw util for post. If you really got to see how we were playing on Icebox, you'll see that sometimes it just doesn't matter. When you have some of these characters now and some of the way the balance changes are going to affect it, I think sometimes you'll see in the next few weeks that I think team play is actually going to be much harder to achieve. You can still obviously do it in spots, but I mean, I'm really interested in seeing teams like EG, teams like Leviathan, teams like Foot on this new patch, because I think when your team is individually that strong across the board and you have like a guy, I mean, obviously everybody knows PRX, right? So PRX also, I'm very curious to see what they're going to play. I think that team can be much better on this patch than they even were in 8.10. And I think currently that is my pick for the best team in APAC, and this is no disrespect to DRX. It is simply that I think those characters lean very well to aggression, as you said, and I fully expect this to be even crazier in the coming weeks.
All right. Thank you so much for your answer. Good luck in the next games as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for joining the interview.
Thank you.
We'll be back shortly.